All right, Zaxby's Mebane.
All right, what we got is a 100 Pro C clock. All right, it's in the off position. We run through the system and make sure that the entire clock is accurate before we put it into the run position. So first, I'm gonna go in and set the time and the date. It's 2015, so we're good. I push the arrow over, it's 5. The month is 5, which is correct, May. I push the arrow, it scrolls over. The next day is the 18th. The next day is the 18th, and that's good. So I scroll over. My time is showing me PM flashing here. That's good, so I scroll over. My clock time is showing 7, and that is not correct. So I want to go up an hour. What time is it? It's actually 8:36.
Probably just an hour off from daylight saving.
It's 9:07. So I want to go up to 9 o'clock. You see the 9 o'clock there? I did that with the plus button. Now I'm going to punch up my arrow button and it'll scroll over to my minutes. My minutes, it's 9:07. I'm going to hit the negative button and it'll bring it down to 9:07. Let's just go ahead and say 9:08 since I'm right there. So let's review. The year is 2015, that's correct. It's the month of May, 5th button, 5th month, so that's correct. We push the arrow, scroll over, the 18th day, that's correct. That button scrolls over, gives me my PM or AM, it is PM, that's correct. Scroll over, 9 is correct, scroll over, 08 is correct. So we are good on our date, year, and time. All right, for program B, we do not want to have a start time on program B because that was just our test program. We can move over our programs by hitting the program button. We're now on the C program and we see a 12:15 flashing. I want to back that out. I don't want anything other than my A program running. So A will be the only program running. We see that we have this off from the start time. Second start time is off. Third start time is off. Fourth start time is off. That way we have no conflict of interest or no conflict between one program and the next program. I'll go over to my B program, make sure the first start time's off, second start time's off, third start time's off, fourth start time's off. Now, I'm going to go into my A program to verify what time I really want it to start. Let's just say for now, 12 a.m. is sufficient, so I'm not really going to change it. So I am going to scroll over by pushing this button here and make sure there are no other programs coming on the A zone, on the A program. So the second start time is off, third start time is off, fourth start time is off. So what we did is we guaranteed that there's no conflict of start times with your clock. All right, so now you're starting at 12 a.m., which is just fine. And now we know that the program B and C is cleared out, so we know that we're good to go. The only time this clock will come on will be at 12 o'clock midnight. The station run times, I'll get back to that. I'm gonna go on to the days here, and you just go over on your clock to set your station days. I want to make sure I'm in the program A because that's the one that I said was the only one that should be running, correct?
Right.
So over here it has a blinking raindrop. That blinking raindrop is over Monday. Yes, it's over Monday. Right now I'm gonna run this system every day. Okay? Because you're going to be putting fertilizer on it in 2 weeks, and you want to make sure it has water so it does not torch and act as a soluble salt and suck all the moisture out of the turf. So here's what I'm going to do. Plus symbol. The plus symbol gives you adds the date on. Plus, 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 plus. That shows all 7 days with a raindrop over it. That gives you clear indication that that's the day it's going to come on. If you did want it to come on, you would hit minus, and you will see it disappear.
Gotcha.
You can scroll through it from next day, from one day to the next by hitting the arrow button. Go over, I'm gonna pick Sunday back up, and I'm gonna add it right there. So now you know it's running 7 days a week. It comes on at 12 a.m. and our date is correct. So now let's go to our setting our zones. Tell me which zones we had again. Okay, our drip line, did we decide we were going to zero out those 2 zones for now, those 3 zones, since they needed to have work done to them?
Mainly just the one that's blowing water everywhere. We want to go ahead and get water on everything else, and we're going to start working on them in the morning.
A drip zone, and then if that's the case, the drip zone needs to run on standard 30 minutes. Those drip zones emit, that tubing should be regulated to put out 1 gallon per hour. If I'm gonna do that, then I only want to put a ½ gallon out a day.
30 minutes.
And that gives you about 3.5 gallons of water per week.
½ gallon per hour.
That's right, but that's quite technical. That's a lot of technical stuff. So we got the first zone, which is a drip, coming on 30 minutes. The second zone is a rotor zone.
That's the one that's...
It's broken. Do we want to zero it out for now?
Yes.
We will zero it out. The standard time is 25 minutes. Let's just say 30 for argument's sake. Drips and rotors run 30 minutes. Misters run 10, just to make it easy.
All right, wait a minute.
So our drip zone on number 1 is running 30 minutes. We've zeroed out the second zone because it needs to be repaired. The third zone should be running 30 minutes because it's a drip zone. And you can see how I added time by pushing the plus to add time, minus to reduce time.
Right. You said Mister runs how long?
10.
10 minutes. Everything else is a
30
half hour.
All right, now I'm going to scroll over by pushing my arrow button to the next zone. That's the 4th zone, and the 4th zone is what?
Rotor.
I'm gonna run that 30.
Heads.
I'm gonna run that 30 minutes. What's my 5th zone?
The Mister zone, right side open field.
Okay, right. 5th zone, 10 minutes. 6th zone, Mister
in the front.
10 minutes. I don't need to know how many, just 10 minutes. 7th zone, Mister
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And we determined that the front 8th zone is up at the front, and it's a drip, and we'll run that for 30 minutes.
9 is not working for some
9
reason.
is, and it's unnecessary actually. So I wouldn't even worry about the 9th zone, to be honest.
Just leave it off so we don't have a leak there.
That's right. So I'm zeroing it out. So ultimately, what we've done, let's review. Go back to the 1st zone. 1st zone is a drip zone. We're running 30 minutes. That's correct. 2nd zone is a rotor. Until we repair it, we're going to keep it 0 until it's repaired. It will be at 30 minutes. 3rd zone is a drip zone, so we're running at 30 minutes. 4th zone, drip zone, 30 minutes. 5th zone is Misters, 10 minutes. 6th zone, Mister, 10 minutes. 7th zone, Mister, 10 minutes. 8th zone is drip line, 10 minutes. And I scrolled over by pushing that button
Drip
there.
should be 30 on 8.
That's right. That's what I got.
Okay.
So we are, the only other thing I can show you before I put this into the run position is a seasonal adjustment. The seasonal adjustment will make it run at 100%. What that means is if I back that down to 95, let's just say I back that down to 50%, it'll be easy math. What that illustrates is just time, because when you go over here to the station zone and the run time, it just diminished it by 50% and took it to a 15-minute. So you don't have to adjust your minutes when you go to seasonal adjust. If you're getting heavy rainfalls in the spring and the fall, you can kick it down to 50 to maybe 50, 60%, and you can leave your run times alone.
Okay, but you're going to leave it on 100% now?
I am going to leave it on 100%, so let me go back to seasonal adjustment, bump it back up by pushing this button here, and I can actually go over it in the heat of the summer, but we're not going to do that. And all that seasonal adjustment does is increase or diminish the amount of time. At 100%, that zone should run accurately on what you programmed it in.
Okay.
Other than that, put it in the run position and let her ride.
Let's get some AC. We're melting.